I wanted to share some things that happened yesterday and share it in a story mode, in a sense, to sum up the conclusion of um, just what's going on in the atmosphere, right? So, yesterday I was watching something and there was some vaguely remembered numbers that I remember. And in order to catch the numbers, I had to go all the way down, right? Because they were so heavy. I was like, ooh, cool. Let me go see what they are. Like, I want to figure out the numbers. Like, obsessed with numbers. And so I remember falling on the ground, like physical, and I was like convulsing, like I was having a seizure or something. Just very still. After a certain point, I just went still. And then I looked, and my body was on the floor in the bathroom. And I was looking at my hands like, whoa, like I'm out of here. And I was like, and then the mirror lit up really bright. And I was like, well, this is new. This is fucking new. What do I do with this? So I go into the mirror, right? And I'm led to the darkest point in anything. I've never been in this darkness. And I think people were supposed, like most people get afraid because they thought when they're going into light that they would be going to light, you know? But mirrors are different. This is why they cover them after someone dies. You know, when someone dies and you go into a mirror, it's a trap. It's, you going back. That ain't the light you were supposed to go to. But I go into the mirror and I sit down instead of freaking out and panicking with fear because fear activates stuff. I sat and I meditated and I began to float in the dark. And I was like, oh, cool, calm, nice, dark. I was like, I've been here before, it doesn't matter. And then my head opened up. And God said, He said, now from this point, I want you to go to the left. And he like walked me through the darkness. Right? He was walking me through the darkness. And he's like, okay, well, here, perfect. You're at a door. Open the door. And I opened the door, and it was like a cave, like a dripping, wet, soppy, disgusting cave. I was just like, okay. So then I get there, and there's a ladder at the end, and it's a little light. It's a ladder. And I start to climb and 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 climb. It took forever. Took forever to get to this point. And I was led to this church. It was a Catholic church. The only reason I know is because it was a Maria, Ave Maria, but a white, and candles, vigil candles lit everywhere. It was dark still. But in this little church, these lit candles, I sat in the pew in the back. So I sat in the pew or towards the middle, front, whatever. But it's mainly just a few steps from the back, like 5 rows from the back. And I just started praying, and God told me turn on my moon. So I clicked, clicked, clicked from like the half moon all the way up to the full moon. So then my head started to glow. This beautiful iridescent blue, like beautiful blue. And a man came out of the left side of, because there's 2 doors. There was the Ave Maria in the middle, the candles, the stained glass on the left, stained glass on the right, and then the pew churches above. And I'm sitting there. I got my eyes closed and my moon on, and I'm just chilling, calm. And this man comes out, regular man, white man, uh, kind of short. He had on the robe of a priest or a member of the Catholic Church, a white dress like a thing. And he said, well, the last person I expected to see here was you. And I opened my eyes and I looked at him and I go, took me a long time to get here to find you. Where you been at? And he goes, here and there, I reign dominion over everywhere, so I've been here or there. And I said, but when I awake and I call you, you didn't come. And I said, do you know how disrespectful that is to the Creator? That when the mother calls, you don't answer. That means you become rogue, my nigga. And his eyes started to glow red, red, red. And I go, there you are, Satan. But I didn't call him that. There was a name. I can't remember. But I'm just going to call him either. I'm gonna just say that. And so when I'm in this church and I asked them, I said, so when you get the call and you don't answer, do you know how angry that makes God? And he started to talk to me about him being the only God on this planet. And he was just sat in the pew in front of me, put his arm over like this and leaned back, And I said, you've reached critical mass and you must exit the earth. You no longer have dominion. And he stood up and he looked at me and he goes, you're gonna have to fight me for it. He said, I'm not leaving anywhere. And I go, with my moon on, I turn my moon to red and it's just blood everywhere in the chapel. I said, and so it is. And then the sky there opened up because God sees my every move. The sky opened up and a big giant sword came out, a glowing blue sword. A glowing blue sword came out the sky, and I chopped him up with the sword. And then I ate each piece of him, and swallowed it, and locked my throat. And then from that point in time, he was gone, and then everything okay? Mm-hmm. Then I had angels coming from the left and angels coming from the right on this territory. And so when they busted open the stained glass on each side, they busted open the front door. They all came from the back. It was like real FBI raid type shit. And they go, where is he? Where'd he go? I go, he's gone. That's it. He's gone. And they didn't like that. At first they were like, hey, you should have let us get a hold of him, And I go, when it's in my belly, God is gonna take care of it. You guys don't have to worry about this portion of it. He's There's some other stuff that he has to do to split him up. Because I split him up and he has to put him on prison planets so he can never be whole again on Earth. So we split him up and put him on prison planets like he's done our children before. So then um, I get to the point, and then the main member, this man was like, "What do you want us to do with the rest of the stuff?" I say, open that communion box there. They put it high, and I opened it, and it was a black crystal, a black diamond. And I was like, "Give me that black diamond with this little blue vial, like this big, little blue vial." And I took the two, put them together, and put it in my heart. And I twisted it like a doorknob and put it in like a light bulb. And that went to my heart chakra and did that. And then I was like, take all of the gold and pass it out among the children. And I said, burn the rest. So they go, yeah, okay. And then I I thanked them and was like, thank you so much for all of your hard work. Enjoy the fruits of your harvest, and um, just know that you're loved. I get back and I climb back down the ladders, and I stop. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go to my body just yet. I need to take care of something. So I went to hell slash the dream realm. I went to this dream realm portion, which is blackness. Um, a lot of the nightclubs and stuff like that, and with the music was all controlled by the dream realm. A lot of the like electronic music, all that kind of stuff. So I went into this portion and I turned on the moon again and I go, good morrow, children. The mother has awoken up, and all of you who have reigned dominion over the dream realm will be locked in here. For all of those who were stuck in here, please stand in a line and you will be coming back to Earth. So then everybody lined up, and you know, I went back to visit it in the. I went back to visit it in the when I went to sleep, but I'll get there. So then I finally got to that point, turned on certain scenarios for dream world revelations, and I climbed back in to the mirror and back out of the mirror and turned off the mirror. There was a code that you could turn off mirrors, and I turned off all of the mirrors because the main mirror that you use is the catalyst of all the mirrors in your home. So I turned it off and I got back in my body, and it was only like 2 seconds, you know, 2 seconds, and then I woke up. And so I stood up and I was like freaking out, like I went like, "Where am I?" Kind of freaked out a little bit. And Angel, in her mind, was like, "Calm down, mom, calm down." So then I'm calm, and then I just continue listening to this stuff, or listening to this YouTube channel that I was watching, and they just kept giving me gold information, gold, gold, gold. And I was like, you know what? I really needed this help. So I turned on, because now I have this ability to turn on these spouts or whatever, and it just rained whatever spout I opened. So when the girl was talking, and I told her, I was like, don't freak out. I said, don't freak out, but I'm about to bless you. And I turned on the gold spout. I turned on the ether spout, and I turned on the stardust spout, and I turned on one other secret spout, which is the white spout, which I'm not gonna tell you about. And I turned these spouts on, and it's just raining in her house, heck of stuff. I was like, "This is for you to move. This is for you to do this. This is for you to do that." And then after a while, and I'll go, "Don't freak out. Don't freak out. I'm gonna activate your melanin with this stuff too." And I turn off the spigots, and I go, "It's about to hurt, but I need you to be calm for 5 seconds." But technically, it's long because it's like burning up your body. It's like the sun burning. So I go to activate her melanin and by passing her pieces of my activated melanin. Like I took a piece of me and put it over her like ash, like ashes on her. And I activated the melanin. When a girl tried to do that to me in the past, that was hers claiming that she was the mother, that she was the reincarnate of me. So when she put the ashes on me and I started to burn, it wouldn't work. It couldn't work. My melanin couldn't be activated by her. It had to be activated by Creator, right? It had to master my dark energy in order for it to work. So her doing that to me in the past was a big no-no. You're not allowed to do that to the mother. Only the mother can pass the ashes to the children, right? So then I activated her melanin, and then the masculine, I activated his melanin, right? It's a lot. It was a lot of energy I gave them because I was like, if y'all just don't hoard it and just know that you're not greater than the collective and pass it out, I was like, this is what we've been waiting for, you know? So then I get to a point where I've given enough, and I just am excited because this weight is off my chest, you know? So then, I hang up and just do the stuff that I needed to do for the rest of the day. And then I go to the dream realm. And I dream an old dream, which was a new dream because Elegua has access to the other realm. Elegua likes to dream. And he likes to drink for a reason. He likes to drink for a reason because he can access things more clearly. You play the wino like you playing a play. You play the wino and you can get anywhere you want. Because they're like, oh, the wino doesn't know shit. He's just a drunk. So then I get to the dream and I saw my old ex that yesterday. Like, what are you doing here? It's the dark realm. This means that his soul was casted down there. And he saw this white lady with fluffy white hair and a white dress. I saw that girl, and then the guys just started following her. And then I go, you guys, be careful. I was like, be careful. And nobody cared. They just followed her. They just followed this white woman with this white dress. It was pretty dress, pretty woman, red lips, and red shoes. And I was like, be careful. And I was in my dark body, my hidden cat-like body. I was in that dark body, and I go to this like um, parking lot area, and I'm in this parking lot area, and they're doing the Egungun dance in this area, and it's this little boy who's doing it, and the little boy reminded me of somebody that I knew, and he concludes the dance, and he dies, right? And then the father goes over and gets him and starts crying. And I go, why are they upset? They said, when your dark body dies at Gungun, that means that you are initiated at Gungun, which means that eventually you'll become this realm's whatever. And I go, no. If 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 a child wants to transcend at Gungun by the mother blessing him, all she has to do is look in his face. That's it. But he goes, no one can look in Ngungu's face and live. I've never seen that before. And I go, okay, let me show you. So I held the boy, I lifted his veil, his face, and you could see his face in the background, but before it, you could see the layers of all the Egungun, you know. And if you look directly in the eye, the third eye, past all of these layers, and pull out the energy and put it back into the body. I was like, you'll be fine now. And he started to glow this blue light. And then I placed a rose into the egungun and it dripped blood. It was just blood everywhere. It was just a rose. And the egungun was like so happy. They were like, oh my gosh. And then they started just moving. Like, like out of the mask, they were moving out of the mask with this blood. And I go, if y'all would have called me sooner, I would have made sure, everybody. And then I remember, hey, I had this dream before. And so I asked the Elegua here, and I go, hey, do you mind taking me to Thoth? I need to tell him about something. And he goes, sure. Do you want to get something to eat before? I was like, heck yeah, I'm starving. I'm starving like Marvin. I was like, my whole form is falling apart because I can't eat meat, or I can't do this because I'm trying to take care of myself, you know? And then he goes, let's go get some meat. So we go to this restaurant in the dream realm, and I'm sitting, I'm just eating. I'm like, oh, damn, it's good. Or I taste this, and I was like, yeah, damn, this is good. And then every bite of some kind of food, I was like, yeah, this is delicious. I was like, why don't we have this type of food up above, or down below, whatever you want to call it? And then he goes, we do. We just hide it. And I go, yeah. And so I get to the point where we're done eating, and we have to say goodbye. And then he started flashing me all of these people that you know I was involved with. And he goes, I was here, I was here, I was here, and I was here, and I was here, and I was here, and I was. Now I know what you mean by I'm never alone. And so then I shut that section. He goes upstairs to this like party area or something like that, where there was like a whole bunch of warriors that were partying. And I go out to the door, and then I go across the street to the right and then to the left. And there's a nightclub that was really popping, like popping, popping. And they were, oh, it's 333. So somebody was about to get on stage. I think it was like, well, he's about to get on stage, right? And beforehand, he comes out and he goes, you made it. You're here. And I go, yeah, I'm here. I'm excited to see what you work with. There were so many people there. I was like, I really don't like this much people, you know. But I'm here. So I sat on outside and I was getting kind of anxious, In this dream, I was getting kind of anxious. I was like, maybe I should just wait till another time to see this, even though this person, is if you can't go to one of his concerts in the lower realm, that's the real meeting space. It takes a lot of intricate work on the lyrical development of this uh, energy in order to find the specific meeting spot, And if you help Lewa, he always gives you directions to where you need to go. So I knew how to get there. So I'm sitting outside and they bring me a beer and I'm like, oh yeah, I miss beer so much. And then they get me a plate of wings and stuff like that. And I'm like, I can live here a little more. And then, he gets on stage and rocks it. And, I'm singing along and all that stuff, and then the end happens. And then we go on another section. I think we went to like get, I don't know what happened, but after we did that, I was like, okay, well, I have to go back up to go to, or to, wake my form up. And I was like, it's been fun. And then he hands me the keys. And I go, why are you giving me keys? He goes, oh, since you have um, traversed death to get to this point, um, whoever controls the higher realms controls the lower realms as well, because it's the yin and the yang. It's A and B. It's A to Z, right? So he hands me all these keys, and I was like, "Am I allowed to just give the keys to somebody else to rule to do that?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Elewa." Like, "Elewa, can you hold something for me?" And then he appears right then and there in front of me like a red smoke. He goes, "Yeah." I say, "Hey, here are the keys. I'm going to give you a box in the upper realm, but I'm going to do it in the past. But it's here." I go, "These are the keys for programming these certain things. And I need you to only use them with pure intentions." I was like, "You have to have the heart of a child, Elewa." It's like, you have to have the heart of a child, and it must be pure, pure heart of a child in order to open the doors to the hearts, or to the brains, or to the disc, because the leg always has all keys. So it's only when he has a pure heart that he can open the door. Sometimes he's locked out of the door when he be too wild. He be too wild. He get the keys and try to open it, drunk and stuff. I'm like, you ain't going in that door. So then I give him the keys. I'm like, I said, I have enough going on than to program this realm. I said, but if you get some really good crew together that know how to really program, I was like, here's a list of things I need. Like, here's a list. There's another list. I was like, if you could just help me with these, you could do what you want, right? We need somebody to manage the bad side. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Just make sure that these doors are open at these times. And I gave him a whole bunch of stuff from the future, from the past, and was like, gave him a kiss, and was like, I'm glad that um, everything is working out the way it's supposed to. But I need you to check in with the creator, and your job is just to put blocks in front of people's steps if they on the wrong path. I was like, use the tricks you need. Have fun. Have fun with it. He goes, okay. And then I give him a kiss, and then I go, opened the door. It was a white glowing door with gold or silver handle this time, silver handle, and a lock about that big, and I unlock it and go shut and then jump back in my body. And I was like, that was like a full circle from the physical and then the spiritual, a full circle. Then the moon or the sun comes out today. And I started dancing and singing and just being like so grateful and thankful, And then I hear from the sun like a battle cry, a battle cry. And I go, hey, hey, hey. And I did that. And then I had a, I had, just a communication with all of my people, and they're all on the same page. And I was like, all of the rainbows are on the same page. All of the constellation members are on the same page. I was like, let's get this. I was like, you gotta take out the leader in order to weed out the flock, in order to weed them out. So then I get to the point where it's God's talking, and I'm speaking in our language, in the language they created, which is a layer of every single language on earth and all of the stars. So you can code switch quick. So sometimes it's like click, so it's and then other times it's smooth like oh, you know? And then other times it's like a um, just like a smooth transition between all of them, you know? And then God always talks back in the same words, same language. And I was just describing to him exactly as I'm talking to you guys here. I was describing to him everything on the dark side and telling him the story about how Satan was all mad and but hurt, trying to scare me with his red eyes and stuff. And I was like, my creator is greater. The universal creator is greater. You ain't gotta worry. You ain't gotta worry. You out of here. So I just talked to him for a while. And the sun just kept shining brighter and brighter on my skin. I was just like, I want to cry happy tears. But it was just beautiful to see how much God is around. Like, from every little thing that you do, every little thing that you say, God is around. And sometimes He's inside of you talking. So everything you say, He can see. Everything somebody else says to you, He can see. That He is an overprotective Father. So, um, I conclude that story with I just love you guys. Love, love, love. If I think of anything else, I'll let you guys know. But those dreams are pretty lit. The whole dream where I'm in the lower realm, it's almost just like it's Earth, but on the dark side, it's your shadow. It's the shadow side. This is why it's the dream realm, right? So it's a dream realm, but it's just the opposite side of what you are. So if you're doing good on your shadow side and you worked on your shadow side, that was your training, your spiritual training to work with your ego. Because if you can make your shadow walk, if you can make your ego walk and you can make your ego talk, it didn't consume too much energy around you to where you and your ego aren't one because your shadow is bigger than your physical form. Oh, I have to tell you guys that too. Oh, I forgot. So, if your shadow side is bigger than your physical form, you can't stuff your ego into your form. That means that you have created a Goliath situation. That means you have to sacrifice your ego over and over and over in order to clear your debt. If you clear your debt with the mother by lower diminishing ego, by just taking the punches for a specific amount of time, you take the punches. If you take the punches, the mother can help to take away that debt and rebalance your scale. And if your scale is rebalanced, then the mother could put the ego back into your form. And when the ego is back into your form and y'all are working on one accord, then we could solidify the balance of your heart, which ego is in the heart, and the feather of the universe. If you are heavier than the feather in the universe, that means you think you are bigger and greater than the universe. That means that you will be sunk back to the bottom. So shout out to all my dark workers too, because that's hard shit. Dark work is hard. That's why I saved that shit for last. I was like, I'm seeing all this stuff that Oya is doing and all of these spells and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just watching in on it. And I'm just like, why I didn't know that? You know, this type of magic is pretty intense and awesome. I want to do it. She goes, you can't get your hands dirty. You can't have your hands with blood on them. He goes, are you crazy? He goes, that you can't have no blood on your hands. I was like, all right. Somebody else will do it for you. Somebody will take over your body and do the hard work. I'm like, okay. So then I get back into my um, rewind it after I got back to my body, and then a few hours later, I was sitting in this chair and I was meditating. And I was meditating, right? So I was meditating, and a whole line of masculines, a whole line of masculines came and they gave me frankincense, which was these like a box. It was a box of little big rocks, little and big rocks of frankincense. And I was like, yeah, I really needed frankincense, like, because that helps my melanin. So I put it up above and I go all the way to the Father and I get a golden key. The golden key, and I go to the person and then I unlock the head, I unlock the heart, and I unlock all the chakras points all around me. Like that tree. So I unlock all of them. And then they grow into these big, big, like titan people. And they transform their ego to this big thing. And then they go and sit at a table with God. So I did that. I must have did that maybe couple couple times. I don't remember how many, but he has a lot of sons. God has a lot of sons that he's working with. And then I mean it's the same for the feminines. Like I took the line of feminines and I kept giving the guys the keys back, the sons of the mother. I would give them the keys back and we go, no, 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 no. You keep it. And they go, no, take your key. This is your life now. And they would go, no, we don't want it. And they were like, keep it for when we need it later. And I would put it back in the heart, put it back on the shelf under each name. It's all organized under each person's name. And then for the feminine side, for the moon side, it was the crown chakra that needed to be unlocked. So I had these, they weren't gold keys, they were like these blue keys. So these blue keys unlocked them, unlocked the feminines, and the feminines grew humongous and they turned blue. And the women turned blue, and then they're like huge, big old creatures. Uh, that's their ego side turned to a blue, big old thing. And I was just like, perfect, awesome. And they each gave a whole bunch of gifts to the spiritual realm. And I was like, I'm so proud that they're not just, expecting to be opened without providing, you know. So after that happened, they had a meeting, you know, they had a meeting. And after the meeting was over, you know, my energy went back up and I met with the creator of all universes, which was, I'm not going to say, but he's the creator of all of the universes and the universities and the education programs and all that kind of stuff on Earth. He knocked down the education system and he said, I want you to build this. I want you to build this here, this here, this here. And I said, oh, wow, this is why I wanted to understand real estate because now I'm going to have to figure out which ground needs to be cleaned in order to build that here because you cannot build God's a church of God or a temple of God on blood rights. He don't take blood rights. He don't take blood rights. It has to be built on like certain stones and certain energies to create a vortex. So he can come back and forth through these portals. So then we get to the point where I have to have a meeting behind doors with him about the future and exchange gifts like it's Christmas, exchange gifts, and then I had to come back down here. And I thought that was a beautiful vision too, because it's like all of the children got their form back, because they balanced ego out. And I posted a lot yesterday about cobalt because that's a very important element. This is why, you know, the U.S. government took a couple billy worth from Africa in cobalt. I'm not gonna say nothing else about that, but all I am gonna say about that is y'all really is um, something else. They was really something else putting on this parade show to distract everybody from the truth. You know what cobalt really can do, um, and this is why I mentioned that being able to build bombs from cobalt. And this is why the um, star families and the star constellations was like afraid to come to Earth because they understood the power of cobalt. Electric fire, blue electric fire. When they say, and God gave fire to man, he wasn't talking about fire, he was talking about cobalt. And this is why the technological boom happened, on some of these mixing of the elements. But they have to give all the cobalt back. So some of these electronic devices ain't gonna work no more. Y'all gonna have to be on the frequency of the earth in order to read the rocks. Start back from the beginning before y'all get all the technology again. Y'all gonna have to go back to the rocks. Um, so then we get to the point where I I just get a little tired of channeling because it was a lot of energy flying back and forth that many times to get the keys for the kids to open the heads. Um, to get the keys to open the head. And it just turns out that uh, we got a lot on our side. We got a lot of good on our side. We got a lot of bad on our side. So now with everything being activated and whatnot, we just have to look out for each other. Just look out for your brothers and your sisters and make sure that people are taken care of um and that you just address both sides of the fence. You know, you address your dark side and the bad that you do, and you address the light side. Because the trees and the bees and the buzzards and all of the flying creatures are your spies, are the spies in the skies, and you can't escape nature. The bees and the bugs and all that kind of stuff, they could watch everything you do. That's why the flies got so many eyes. You know what I mean? That's why flies got so many eyes. And it watches for God, for you. Whatever you're doing behind the closed doors, y'all can't close the doors no more. Because y'all not, they haven't been able to trust us in the galaxies. They haven't been able to trust. So it's been fun just having these visions and understanding the visions and passing the visions on. So I love you. I love your mama. I love your daddy. Have a good day.